Welcome to the Clean Zone, beds, clothes, and furniture. Your flat is a sacred place, and the Lord is knocking and wants to come in. However, before you open the door, I want to give you one very important bit of advice: respect. The keystone to a successful mission experience is to constantly maintain a high level of respect for the gospel, yourself, your companion, and the people you meet and associate with. Respect for your personal property, the property of others, and above all, respect for church-owned property to include all church publications, for they are also sacred because they come from tithing funds. Are you ready to let the Lord in? We have been inspecting missionary flats for over 3 years, and I can tell you there is a direct relationship between a missionary's success in the mission field and what his or her flat looks like on the inside. You can't have the best spirit if you are walking out of a flat that you would be embarrassed if the Lord had been in there with you. As you know, the temple is the most sacred place on earth. Next comes our homes. Always ask yourself, would the rooms in my flat be okay if they were put inside the temple? If you can answer yes, then feel spiritually ready to step outside and start your day. This short video will cover care of your bedroom, your clothing, and the furniture and contents of your flat. This is an example of what would score a perfect 10. Beds are made properly. They took a few seconds to do it nice and not just pulling up the covers. The floor is clean and no clothes and stuff littering the floor. Your bedding should consist of a mattress cover, 2 sheets, pillowcase, and a blanket or 2. Sheets and pillowcases should be washed each week on your P-Day. Dirty laundry should be put in a bag or a basket. I need to use a bad word here: procrastination. This missionary may have fully intended to make the bed. This excellent missionary thought that it could be made after showering and getting dressed for the day, then forgot. Or maybe they both procrastinated, and in the end, both beds were not made. Here's an awesome tip. When you roll out of bed, go directly to your knees for a personal prayer. Stand up and make your bed now. Never throw anything on the floor. That way you don't need to pick anything up. Vacuum each P-Day. When you leave a clean room, you just feel awesome. Clutter is your worst enemy. Go to war against it. We have all had to live out of a suitcase at one time or another, but this is not how to do it. Once you let the clutter monster get a foothold, it will quickly take over the room, then the flat, then it'll take over your life. Please hang your clothes up in your closet or on a clothes rack. I'm sure that this missionary took longer to toss his clothes over the door than it would have taken him to hang them up in the closet or on a clothes rack. In some flats, the bedrooms don't have closets, only a rack. In this case, the missionary could have moved the rack into the bedroom and not left it in the front room to be devoured by the clutter monster. Please keep your dirty clothes in a basket or a bag, and on P-Day, take them to the laundry area and wash them. Ironing can also be kept in a basket and ironed on P-Day. Notice the clutter-free room. Clothes that have been left behind should be bagged for donation. In this photo, you can see 2 very large bags of clothing that were left over when this flat was vacated. I wanted to give a quick reminder of the sacred nature of the garment. Never toss them on the floor. When showering, put them on the counter next to your clean pair. I like to keep my dirty garments in a separate bag from the rest of my dirty clothes and also wash them separately. This is a sign of respect to their sacred nature. I am sure that with a little work, you and your companion could organize and declutter this room. It seems odd to see sacred clothing in the middle of all this clutter. Try to declutter often. Bag up the clutter for donation or the rubbish bin. Because of major efforts this year, the amount of left behind stuff has been significantly reduced. We all need to prevent a renewed buildup of unneeded stuff in our flats. This stuff is the primary contributor to clutter. In this section, we want to touch on the proper use and care for the furniture in our flats. I want to use the good word respect again, but may need to use the bad word procrastination. Another term for procrastination would be, I will do it later. I'm sure that the missionary left this container of food on his work or study table with the intent, I'll toss it out later. However, that amount of mold covering the food would suggest it had been there for days and days. This photo shows how easily clutter can add to the problem. Please take a minute to clean up and declutter as you go. How can you feel the spirit in your flat when surrounded in a mess like this? Fortunately, what you see in this photo is very rare. During our flat inspections, we have seen pictures of the Savior posted on the walls of several flats. We think this is a terrific idea that may help you remember to keep your flat in a condition where He would feel comfortable. The furniture in our flats gets used over and over again. Let us all try and show respect for this furniture. After all, it was tithing money that provided it. I think we all know how to properly use the furniture that we have. Rocking back on a chair can weaken it and damage it. Please use furniture in a manner that it was intended to be used, and we can get many more years of use out of it. We added this section because it is near and dear to our hearts. Please give respect and reverence to church publications, especially the Book of Mormon. Take care when handling these items. In the last few weeks, I've had my heart broken to see boxes of Books of Mormon tossed in trunks of cars, open and scattered with significant damage, or trodden underfoot on the floor in the back seats of cars, or tossed on tables in our flats. These sacred books and pamphlets should be given a place of respect and cared for like the treasure they are. May God bless each of you that are already doing this. In summary, we all know about the terms good, better, and best. The vast majority of what senior missionaries see when inspecting flats falls into one of these three categories. I promise you that if your flats are rated best, your success in your mission experience will also be the best.